If the Supreme Court sides with Texas, then the map the legislature adopted this past summer will be effective for the March primary election and thus for the general election next fall. If it sides with the plaintiffs who brought the original suit, Texas would be forced to hold elections using the map drawn by the GOP-controlled legislature in 2021 based on the 2020 census.
Any sense as how the court might rule on this?
It's always difficult to read the court's mind. The court's conservative majority has blocked similar lower court rulings because they have come too close to elections. The order came about an hour after the state called on the high court to intervene to avoid confusion as congressional primary elections approach in March, with early voting starting middle of February.
Yeah, so primaries in March and filing deadlines coming up relatively soon. What does this temporary stay mean for some of the candidates and, of course, voters, even election administrators who are trying to plan the 2026 election?
It's creating some confusion. We've already seen how at least one of the affected candidates is handling it. Congressman Al Green, as a Democrat, was drawn out of the 9th congressional district, which he's represented for more than 2 decades, and into the 18th congressional district, which is currently subject to a special election runoff that's going to be taking place at the end of January. He's responded first by declaring that he'd run in the Democratic primary for the 18th, then with a press conference saying he would decide which district to run on based on how the Supreme Court acts. On the other side, Cindy Siegel, chair of the Harris County Republican Party, has said some Republican candidates may now have to consider withdrawing their application or filing again. She's worried there won't be enough time for her office to process the applications of candidates who withdraw and refile for new offices.
Any possibility that the state might have to delay its filing deadline or change move the goalposts at all to handle all this?
Well, it's not clear legally how or whether the state could delay its filing deadline. That deadline is coming up fast. That's December 8th, and that doesn't leave a whole lot of time for the Supreme Court to resolve this.
What are you going to be watching for this week or next as this case develops?
Well, at this point, the decision is entirely in the hands of the full U.S. Supreme Court. We can only wait to hear what they have to say on this. And as you said, it's not clear whether they'll act before or after Thanksgiving.